Hello, everyone. I'm Vipin Kumar, a Senior Director for the Product and Portfolio Management team here at Sandvine. And I have about 22 years of experience in network technologies, having developed products for routing, analytics, and reporting. Today, I'm going to talk about monetization opportunities for operators in this new world. Uh, we are specifically going to talk more about personalized network experiences because we believe it's the key to future of monetization. Before we go deeper into this topic, I would like to take your attention to a few facts. About 88% of customers say the experience a company provides is as important as its products and services. Now, think about it. This is a survey from Salesforce conducted for their business, which means that people are ready to pay more for services or like services when they're personalized to their tastes. Another fact, 72% of subscribers say they would be willing to pay more for personalized services, which is a great thing for operators if they could personalize their services to their customers' needs. So there's a market for personalized services available. This market is already being tapped by all these new age apps where they provide personalized experiences to everybody who's using an app. Another couple of facts done by survey by McKinsey or and done by Epsilon. So 76% of customers are more likely to purchase from companies that are personalizing their experiences. And 80% of those respondents are inclined to do business with organizations that deliver personalized experiences, right? So all in all, what we're saying and seeing in the market is personalization of services. And I think it's high time that operators of telecom industry get onto this bandwagon. And it is probably the right time because the technology is also available now to deliver these personalized experiences to their consumers. But personalization is not as easy as it seems, right? It requires a lot of data. It requires a lot of analysis into what the user experiences. It needs analysis into what kind of experiences they want. It needs analysis into what kind of quality they are getting from the services. So how do you personalize that? One way to do that is getting more information about their user experiences on the networks that you provide today. We've advanced a couple of slides here. So traditionally, operators have been just working on one size fits all kind of plans, right? Where they had only one lever to talk about, which was data, right? Initially, it was minutes that they used to sell, but then when technology advanced, they were offering data, and then they started providing this unlimited data plans, right? But one size fits does not fit all, right? In terms of personalization, you need to make sure that the plan fits the needs of the customer, but not necessarily, provides everybody the same plan, right? So having a single data plan is not the future, right? What you need to do is have a, let me advance. So you need to build your decision intelligence. What do we mean by decision intelligence? We'll talk about it more. At Sandvine, we help service providers complement their decisions with app-centric network, right? App experience-centric network. And I want to repeat that. We at Sandvine help service providers complement their decisions with an app-centric network. And this is really important. I would like you to recall or remember this word app experience-centric network as we go along this presentation. Now, today, what happens in the networks is we provide a network service to a consumer, and that consumer could be using services multiple different services over that network connectivity. They could be using conferencing app, they could be using it for their business purposes, they could be using it for learning, they could be using it just for entertainment, right? However, for a network, they just see a connectivity pipe going to a subscriber, and what they measure is just a few KPIs like throughput or latency, and have a blurred visibility of what kind of applications are actually being used on that connectivity service. And this does not provide a customer point of view to an operator. They do capture a few KPIs, but those KPIs do not translate into how a customer feels about the network, right? So, what an operator sees is throughput, jitter, latency, IPET, or packet loss. However, it does not translate into, they cannot know how they feel. But now imagine if there was a way where you knew how each of these users were experiencing their apps, at what time they were using it, based on how they were accessing it, where they were, what they were thinking, what activity they were doing, right? And then what devices they were using. Was it a smartwatch? Was it an app? Was it a computer? Was it a television? Was it a mobile phone, right? Depending on the access type, the device type, the location, the activity, if you could score all these apps and aggregate that into a score, that would give you a way how a customer feels, whether they're happy or sad about the service, based on the same network parameters that you see today, right? So you are now translating the network parameters that you monitor, the KPIs that you monitor today, into a real network experience for the consumers. And that is AppQoE. It is the world's first true real-time depiction of customer satisfaction. And we at Sandvine are proud to provide that. AppQoE is a score between 1 to 5, which is based on actual user experience of how they're experiencing their network, irrespective of the KPIs that you keep monitoring, right? So for the same KPIs, different users could be having a good or a bad experience depending on what apps they are using, right? And AppQoE really helps you unlock better decision making across the activities that you do, whether you're planning your network, fixing your network, you want to preserve your network from security events, you want to secure your network, you want to add more capabilities in your support function, or you want to grow your business. So across the whole activity, a whole set of activities that you do as an operator, AppQoE helps you make better decisions because it gives you an app-centric view of all the activities that you do. You could get app usage, app growth trends, app performance, the roll-ups, and it really helps you build a app-centric experience for your network. So instead of having a bandwidth-centric approach or a network-centric approach, we encourage you to think about an app-centric approach using AppQoE, which can unlock better decisions. And AppQoE can also help you make more personalized plans for your consumers, right? And we are going to cover that as part of our monetization portfolio. At Sandvine, our monetization portfolio covers both ends of the spectrum, whether it's managing your bottom line or managing your top line, right? So we have use cases that impact both. We have use cases that reduce revenue leakage. We have use cases that can help you build new revenue streams. And as part of this webinar, we are going to talk about the use cases that help you with personalization and help you create new revenue streams using personalized approaches. We're going to talk about usage-based services use case. We are going to talk about parental control, the zero rating and application-based plans, and M2M, which is more geared towards enterprise-based personalization. So usage-based services has been there for a while, but traditionally we have been only using it to create plans that were more bandwidth centric, right? That were only say unlimited plans across the board, or have a data caps only. Now, before we talk about the plans and the possibilities, there was a survey done by Mobile World by Ericsson, which was trying to identify if people would pay more for differentiated services, right? And 20% of the respondents said that they would be willing to pay a premium price for a differentiated personalized service, which basically means 1 in 5 5G users are willing to pay a premium, which is probably a good news for operators, because with all the investments that are being made in 5G, they now have also a possibility to monetize that using differentiated plans. And how can you create differentiated plans? Not just by providing a single tier bandwidth based tiers, but complement those tiers along with different insights that you get from app centric view, right? Based on the applications that certain customers use, you could identify if they would be willing to pay for specific speed tier, right? If they are using gaming applications, maybe you can tailor your plans not just based on bandwidth, but based on differentiated speeds. You could identify if they have been using, if they have a lot of data that is unused over a certain period of time. You could then help them with data rollover plans, right? You could add time of day based charging plans based on the app usage that you see. Maybe you only see gamers that play games at night, and you want to create a market for them, right? And those are just a few of the examples that you can create differentiated plans on usage-based services. A couple of examples for the plans that we have had envisioned back in the day. One of these plans is for fixed, which is a game on plan that an operator could provide, which gave priority to gaming consumers and had multiple of those variables that I talked about added to it. And then similarly, you could have a video-based stream more plan, which could prioritize video-based traffic, or for all the users that consume a lot of streaming content, right? One of the operators recently also, created a usage-based plan for gaming, which is exactly what we were talking in the previous slide. So Ooredoo had launched a ProPing 5G, which is focused on gamers. Another great way to monetize is by providing parental control, right? So parental control now allows, so parental control is available, right? It's not new, but it is not traditionally been provided by operators. It is mostly provided by your the router, Wi-Fi routers, or the modems, or sometimes the apps themselves. However, what we propose here is a personalized service by an operator, right? So you could, as an operator, provide a parental control interface to a family where only a primary member could change policies and rules, and those rules would apply across the network without having to install any specific device or any specific software on the user device, which basically allows them to have that parental control not only in their home where they have the Wi-Fi router or on a specific app which they want to control, but they can now have a policy that is set for the network for this particular for their particular miners, right? And that would be applicable irrespective of where they access the network from, right? Whether it's their home or their mobile when they're outside, or when they are at school using some other Wi-Fi. All of those access would end up through the operator, and then you could have that control applied for that particular user, right? So, and this all is powered by our market leading traffic and application classification, right? So you could set policies literally on a per app basis or categories basis, right? So you could only say, hey, at this particular, when there is school time, you don't want your minors to be accessing any kind of video stream based entertainment. And when they're at school, no matter what access type they're using, they would not be able to use it based on that network-based policy that is allowed. And this use case has APIs that can be integrated into a operator portal that is provided to individual user as a family plan, right? This is an example of a service that is offered by NetHive, Italy, which uses Sandvine software, and they have provided this parental control use case to all their subscribers who use NetHive Italy's service, where they can provide a network-based parental control offering as part of their subscription. And it allows the users to have smart protection, device visibility, and safe browsing, all integrated into an app that they provide. Another way to personalize the plans that you offer is by using zero rating and application-based plans, right? With 5G, it becomes even better, because now you can be compliant with net neutrality and yet be able to provide differentiated services to your users depending on what kind of slice they're on. So one of the this really sometimes gets confusing with a usage-based plan. So sometimes people will say, hey, I already have a usage-based plans. Why do I need an application-based plan? Now think about it. The usage-based plans are mostly on categories, right? So you're either targeting gaming as a category or video streaming as a category. However, with application-based plans, you could really identify specific applications and then choose to not count data for them as part of the plan, or provide specific services or specific quality for those applications to be delivered to the user. These plans are basically, these plans help you basically capitalize on the mobile growth, right? Which we know has exponentially grown over the years, right? And helps you monetize the phenomenon that you see within your network based on the application data that you gather from Sandvine software, right? So it really helps you identify the applications that are really popular in your network, identify new use cases that you could build over those applications, and help you create new plans, get more customers, and also kind of improve the stickiness, right? If I can provide you a better experience for a certain app, you would probably want to stay with me rather than go to a competitor. One example of a zero rating or application-based plan is this has been implemented recently in a Asian country, where an operator has created a plan specifically for stock traders, right? So now they have partnered with an application which is used for trading, and they provide a specific, a promised quality of service, SLA for that particular application if you buy that operator's plan, right? So it is really specific to this stock trading application, provides a dedicated network resources, provides highest quality of experience, and all the data that is used for this particular application is included with the plan. There's no separate charge for it, right? So you just pay one amount and you get those services, because uh, what you're targeting is a specific set of users who use a specific set of apps, and providing them a specific quality of experience, which is true personalization of a service. And anybody who's using that particular service will probably want to stay with that network for a long period of time. So we've talked a lot. Covered three use cases which talk about personalization of experience for individual subscribers, right? However, there are other kind of users of your network, right? Enterprises. And when you go to enterprises, M2M is a great market. It's a growing market, and operators see it as a new growth area, right? And it is driven by multiple new initiatives that are happening across the world, whether it's connected vehicles, whether it's payment terminals, whether it's smart cities, whether it's connected video cameras or security or fire alarms. So there's a lot of IoT devices being deployed in the world, and a lot of those are cellular IoT devices, which basically means that you are providing a cellular connectivity to a M2M device. Now, with this cellular connectivity comes a security challenge as well, because the a lot of these IoT and M2M devices are not secure by design. And because they're not secure by design, this connectivity could be used for nefarious purposes as well. So it it is it is only evident that we need to make sure that any cellular connectivity that we provide to these M2M and IoT devices is also secure, right? So how do you do that? You can probably do that by identifying, hey, where are my networks in my device, right? Sorry, where are my devices in my network? What apps they're using? If they're using any apps, what kind of URLs they're accessing, what kind of data they're generating. Is the volume right amount of volume for this particular set of devices? Are they trying to access something they're not supposed to access? Is the same, you know, I want to do want are these devices enabled on my network, right? Are they getting the right quality of service? Are they being blocked by some kind of interference? So all of these questions can be answered if you have a single pane of glass kind of monitoring for these M2M devices, or a single interface where you can go and manage these devices. We have worked with one of the large operators in Asia for their M2M IoT use cases, and provided them with an interface that helps them manage those devices, manage the connectivity for those devices, and limit the access to the internet for those devices based on the rules that are set on the platform. And this has really helped them reduce their customer onboarding time. Before they had the Sandvine system, they took about 3 weeks to onboard a new enterprise M2M customer, to get all their SIMs added to their platform, then make all those configurations across the network to make the use case work for the enterprise. After using the Sandvine platform, this got reduced by 85% to only 2 days. We reduced complexity of uh, configuring the devices. We limited the dependency on configuration of multiple network elements. So you just had to configure it at one place, and that was it. And not only did it help them create rules for the IPs that they wanted to create, but it gave them multiple opportunities or different set of capabilities to create rules based on IPs, URLs, domains, protocols, applications, and because we are able to classify more more than anybody else in the industry. Yeah, M2M is a great growth area, right? And it's growing exponentially, as I mentioned earlier. It's a true opportunity to capture growth in the mobile market. And we believe it requires its own webinar. So be on a lookout for our webinar on M2M specifically, which is going to be coming soon, right? So all in all, we've talked about personalization of individual users. We've talked about personalization of enterprises. However, these use cases are not entirely, I would say, comprehensive in the sense that there are multiple other ways that we can identify or we can identify opportunities for monetization based on the data correlation that we see. One of the areas that you could also look into is advertising using creating profiles based on the application data that you see in your network, right? Overall, in conclusion, what I want to say is when you pull out a red carpet and give your customers a personalized experience, you reap the rewards, right? So personalization is a great way to monetize your network, and I would recommend you start think if you're not already thinking about it, I would recommend you start thinking about it. If you need more information on any of these use cases that we talked about or any of the other use cases that Sandvine provides, please visit our website or contact our account management team to know more. With that, I would like to conclude this session. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.